Yeah, it went really well. We wanted to get some gap scheme stuff in. I think it fits the personality of our offense. They're athletic and big, and I never wanted to just be a zone team. I think that you can pound on people a little bit. And, football still, last time I looked, was a contact sport, and you try to play to the human element of the game and bruise people up. And, that's kind of what we wanted our personality to be.
So, was that something that you saw specifically was going to work in Washington, or was that something, like, how did that all kind of mind thinking behind it?
A little bit, with the Washington thing, but mostly, after the San Diego State game, like I came in here and said, that's just not my personality. I can't stomach that, and, just wanted to have a little bit of a different personality in the run game. Wanted to be able to do some gap scheme and come downhill a little more, and use because we do have some good big offensive linemen. We feel like we can move some people up front, create an advantage with some down blocks.
When you looked at the schedule, you probably figured a tough stretch. Michigan State, San Diego State, Washington, a really tough stretch.
Right.
As far as defenses.
Yes.
Having said that, I mean, is it an unpleasant surprise in your eyes, scoring 21 points or less in each of those games?
Yeah, you always feel like you can score more than that, That's been a disappointment to me, obviously. And you don't ever want to use the excuse, the defenses, I mean, I've definitely felt like we could have scored more points up to this point. So, we're just finding ourselves a little bit, our proper personality with the people that we have. And, I think we're progressing to that point to where we kind of know who we are. We want to be able to come downhill. We want to be able to run the football. Herm stated that when he took the job, what he wanted to do. And we wanted to be able to be a team that, if we line up in a 4-minute offense, we can run the clock out. And, we don't want to be, and we never wanted to be, just a straight zone, 10 personnel, zone team, spread. That's just not what we wanted to do. We wanted to have a different identity. We wanted to be a little bit more downhill, tough type of football team that, puts pressure on you to kind of put guys in the box and try to take that portion of your game away and open up some other things.
How did you feel about Traylon's performance on Saturday?
I thought he did well and had the one critical mistake, and it's hard for him, it's hard for me, it's hard for, the offense, to look past things like that, and he knows that. And there's nobody that's more down than him right now. He feels like he let people down, obviously. But no, we be great to have that guy. I mean, he's it's like having two Enos in there, and when Traylon wasn't available, we had Isaiah, who's a speed guy. But he's a smaller type back, and Traylon can actually pound it up in there a little bit more. You don't want to just have one guy that can do that.
Having Ralston back now on offense and working in that group, can you talk about that and what that brings?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the second he came over, you could tell a difference on our offense. He just brings like just a toughness factor. Guys believe in him. They trust him. That's a huge word I just used. They trust him. And to come over from defense and then to line up and sort out all of the things that he had to do in the middle of a game and only had 2 physical days to practice, that is really amazing. That just speaks to how smart of a football player he is. He's able to watch film and take coaching and immediately take it right out onto the field, and we need more guys like that. You don't have enough time in college football to have to rep things 1,000 times just to get it right once. And you need smart football players like him that can take the classroom out onto the field instantly, and start working it.
How much does that add from a blocking standpoint, or even, throwing the ball?
Yeah. Well, when you have big tight ends doing what, those jobs, then people really don't. They're not like worried about you slipping a guy out into the flats, you know. But now with him, you know, if a guy that can do both, you know, he can hit people, he can dig a guy out on the power slice block, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're booting him and slipping him out and throwing him the football and things like that. And then also it makes play action pass a little bit better with, you know, fullback stuff. You know, you're able to get him out. That really is big for your offense. Yeah, it doesn't make you so one-dimensional.
There's not a lot of yards to be had against Washington for a chunk of the
Yeah.
What did you think about how you did against what was being given to you?
We missed some opportunities. If you guys can, you know, think back and remember the certain plays. Whenever you're playing a game like that, and the kids knew, I thought we had a great game plan, you know, just to speak to that real quick. You know, one thing I think that's lost in college football, and I remember when I first got in this business, you used to get in a room for hours, and the whole staff would sit in there, and you'd talk about how do we win this game this Saturday. And that's all you talked about. How do you win this game? It didn't matter what you looked like. Didn't matter if you had 1 yard, 1,000 yards, whatever. How do you win this particular game in the situation that you're in? And now, you know, I haven't done that in a long time, except for this past, you know, since Herm's been here. You know, you just sit there, and we talked about how are we going to beat Washington at Washington? Well, let's keep it close to the fourth quarter. How do you do that? You run the clock. You run the football. So you come into the game and you go, all right, let's see if we can run this football on these guys, all right? It'll serve two purposes. You're going to beat them up a little bit, and then you're going to be hanging around in the fourth quarter. They're the ones ranked number 10. We're the ones 18 points down. Let's make them panic a little bit in the fourth quarter, and then let's go win the thing when it's tight. You know, and then unfortunately we made a critical error, you know, in the third, and we didn't take advantage of the shots that we took. There weren't a lot of shots to be taken against that defense, unless you're just going to throw the ball up for grabs, because they have a high safety and they press you all the way across the board. So, you know, you're going to have to guys are going to have to create and get open. You're going to have to hit them perfectly on the run, or you're going to have to throw the ball up for grabs, pick, whatever, all that stuff. You got to get your guys open. And we just, you know, we didn't hit the opportunities that we had. You know, we hit a couple of those. I think the whole thing's going to be a little bit different, you know. But it is what it is, man. You know, just ready, cannot wait, and these kids cannot wait to get back out on the field on Saturday.
Some of the biggest challenges that you guys have against Oregon State. What do you have to?
Yeah, I hear you. You know, you're playing a team. Anytime a team feels like they're starting their program. I've been a part of that my whole life. I don't know why, but everywhere I've ever been, except really when Todd hired me here, was the first time I've ever been to a program that was established. Every other time I had gone with the head coach my entire career and started the program, or started our era, okay? And so that's where they're at right now. And so when you're in that space, you basically have nothing to lose. And so they're dangerous. They can come in here and run whatever they want to run. They can do whatever they want to do because they're building that program. They don't, you know, and they don't, you know, the pressure's not on them. I'll just say it that way. So, you know, that's always dangerous because they're going to play loose. They're going to come up here. They're going to have fun. I think it might be their first night game. I don't know. Could be, you know, and just playing at night. And, you know, sometimes I'll tell you what, that atmosphere out there, you know, at Washington, come on. That out there is the best I've been around in the Pac-12. The pregame, it actually works against us sometimes because it fires the other team up. I mean, it's so good. It literally, that would fire me up if I was over on the other sideline. And so, you know, they're going to get into it. They're going to see, you know, Sparky come and smash on the bus. They're going to be jumping around. They're going to be excited. They're going to be jacked up. You know, and so they're going to play loose. They're going to have fun. They're going to fly around. And so, you know, we got to, you know, come in here, not so much think about them. I know it's a good question, but not so much think about them and just play our game and ball security and then just execute and play as hard as we can. And we feel good.
Coach, I'm sorry, you kind of answered this already. Can you describe the thought process of inserting Nick in at fullback against Washington, the decisions that went into that?
Yeah, you know, we felt like we needed a guy that kind of is a pass threat and also can do the same things that a bigger tight end can do. And he's one of those special players who's a hybrid that everybody in the country is looking for, that can actually do both. You know, he can be a kind of a threat out into the perimeter on a pass game, slipping him out into the flats like on boots and slips and things like that, play action passes. And he's a tough kid. and he's a good athlete, and he can handle those things, and so that's why we wanted him over on our side of the ball.